part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
Welcome back, everybody, to Podcast 616, the official podcast of Earth 616. I'm your host, Damon Royster, and today we've done it. We've reached the end of our fantastical journey. There is no more Fantastic Four to do. This is the last one. And of course, we're going to end our coverage of Fantastic Four with a failed reboot. It's time to talk about Fantastic Four from 2015, a.k.a. Christopher Nolan Presents The Fantastic Four. Joining me today are two very fun guests, an FF in their own right. Our first guest, they are an actor, writer, and garbage man about town, and they're one half of the duo Pure and Weary. Please welcome to your ears, Leah Frires.
Hello.
Hello, Leah.
Ew.
Man, I'm so sorry I didn't have you and Catherine on at the same time.
That's okay.
I'm sorry to separate you like this.
That's cool. We can be apart.
No, I refuse to believe that.
I mean, bad things happen, but you know.
Oh boy. Our second guest. Oh my gosh. Probably the most professional guest I've ever had. Sorry, Leah. But
Whoa.
I'm a garbage person.
The job says it all. But this next guest is not a garbage person. They are a film composer and music producer. I'm blown away that they're coming from an actual real studio. Please welcome to your ears, Andy Forsberg.
Woo.
Hello. Happy to be here. Here.
Listen to that.
Listen
That
to
professional
that.
mic.
Oh, yeah.
Andy, how are you doing? You're literally down the road from me. How are you doing right now?
Good. I actually, when I got the Zoom link, I was like, oh shit, I'm not going to be in person. What a bummer.
Oh, no,
But
I would never.
This is fine. Yeah. I like a little separation anyway.
Yeah.
Be weirder.
Excellent. All right, you two. Where to begin? Where to
Oh,
stop?
my God.
Like, what did you do to us? First of all,
I thought it'd be fun. Fourth month of the year, we do the Fantastic Four movies, and then I watched them. And I don't know, did you guys watch the original two with like Jessica Alba? And
So
Chris
I
Evans?
watched them like right when they came out, but I have not watched them since. I think I saw both of them in theaters.
Yeah, don't go back.
I only watched this one because I didn't want to get confused.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Did it help? Did it help?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
You could probably remember, the other two were like much more like popcorn, bubblegummy. They were fun. They were stupid, but they were trying to
Yes.
have fun.
Yeah.
Right.
This movie is determined to not have fun. It is
Josh.
like, do you remember in this movie when like we're meeting the character Ben Grimm and we go to his family home and there's just that pan over the sign that just says Grimm, and I'm like, oh boy,
Yeah.
Grim
You're right.
Salvage.
I just want to get
Yeah.
first initial impression. So
Yeah.
Leah Frires, Fantastic Four, how are you doing with them? Do you go to them often? Was this your first time even thinking about them?
I actually don't think I've seen any of the other ones like when they came out. Like this was I don't think I knew. I mean, I probably knew side like in the periphery. Oh, sure they exist, but I wasn't into it. I didn't watch any of them. So I didn't know about them. Or I knew about them, but I didn't know about them, you know.
Hey.
Yeah. I didn't know about them.
And I didn't need to know.
No, it's the Fantastic Four. There's nothing to say, but people say so much about them. But it's like invisible, stretchy fire rock.
Yeah.
What else?
But like for what and for why?
For what and for why? And we're going to find out today. That's what we're going to find out on this podcast. Andy Forsberg, what's your relationship like to the Fantastic Four?
Well, I grew up watching like the Saturday cartoon versions of them.
Yeah.
And so I have nostalgia about this and the characters. I don't like deeply know the lore for sure, or a lot of the going ons. But yeah, I had watched the originals when they came out and again, thought they were fun, like you were talking about, but underwhelming. And this is just, I mean, there's so many things I want to get into about like all the stuff that was like on set production. I don't know if you guys read any about this, like about Josh Trank and all the drama that went down on set and he didn't get final cut and there was all this stuff. So I want to get into that later.
Please.
Okay.
Because
But
all of it makes sense.
well, basically he directed like a couple short films and an indie film he made for like $100,000 and then directed this movie. So
This
what
is
the
only
fuck,
his second
Fox?
movie.
Second of any consequence for the world.
Wow.
Anyway, but this was terrible. And I had put off watching it this week because I knew it was going to be terrible. And during the pandemic, I tried to watch it about 7 times. And I got about 15 minutes in each time and then either fell asleep or got angry and just left it. Yeah. So I literally just finished it before this for that reason. So here we go.
And that's what I always say about my friend Andy. He's either sleepy or angry. One of the two.
Yeah. That's definitely the descriptors for me. It's very true.
Well, we start in the past, this film, which I don't know. Do you guys feel old when you see things are set in like 2007 as the past?
100%.
Okay.
Yes.
Not just me. Good.
Because it still feels like the 1950s. And I was like, why? Why does it still feel like it's the 1950s?
Yeah. Why is no one texting on their iPhone right now? Like, they would have it. The
teacher's mean. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And the teacher, did you recognize who this actor was?
Dan Castellaneta.
Yeah. Homer Simpson.
That was crazy.
I love that this teacher is so mean. He hates Reed Richards for using his imagination for a class project.
Yeah. The science teacher.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I guess, I don't know. Is it like a general studies teacher? Because then he's also like the adjudicator for the science fair in the movie.
The chalkboard just said career
and he's
day.
like, he's like, oh my God, I have so many thoughts. I like took 1,000 notes.
Wait, they make fun of him and they're like, beam me up, Scotty. I'm like, would they freaking know that reference? Would these children know that reference?
That's a good point. Probably not.
And was that supposed to be, that wasn't Michael B. Jordan. That was just a different black character in the room, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. I was like,
yes. Because I didn't remember who were friends in the beginning and like who knew each other before this. So I don't know how much of that is like set in actual canon, like in the original stuff, like if Grimm and Reed were friends in the beginning.
Well, they were. And let me just say right at the top, this movie abandons the canon pretty hard.
Really?
Because the Fantastic Four
that tracks.
Infamously get their powers from a space cloud. They go into space and there's a cosmic wave that washes over them and gives them their powers. There's no parallel universe. There's no Earth Zero. And to do a parallel Earth thing makes this feel so less fantastical. And there's a lot of rocks in this movie, which for a movie that's already going to have a character made of rocks, I don't think you need any more rocks.
Too many rocks.
It's already going to be a rock man. And there's so many rocks.
So many
like
rocks.
The Michael Bay jingoism stuff in this too that I was not expecting.
Explain to me what jingoism is.
Jingoism is like the extreme form of patriotism, basically like extreme nationalism. Like we're going to conquer, we're going to do this. Like being proud of your country is conquering other lands.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get to that scene.
Maybe fact check me on that, but that's my definition.
Oh no. To the listeners out there, we are going producerless today, so my fact checker is out. So I did all the fact checking, which is why I know Leah, your family now owns Grimm Repairs, right? You own that car.
Are you just saying that because they're also Jewish?
What? I'm absolutely not doing that.
Did you catch that though? There's a fucking mezuzah outside of their door.
Really?
That's awesome. I was like, oh, cool, they're Jews.
I thought you were making a joke that she had to try to fix her car yesterday.
That too.
So that she's handy. We all know she's handy.
Yeah, perhaps I'm a mechanic garbage person. Jew.
Okay, so they're Jewish. Did you enjoy the fact that they were also abusive?
Oh my God. Wait. And they try to make a joke about it. She's beating up Chet Hanks, first of all. And yes,
was that Chet Hanks?
The rapper
himself.
My
God.
The rapper himself.
That's where that's where the jingoism begins.
And he's 20 beating up his 10-year-old brother. And then his mom's beating him up. And she's like, how many times I tell you not to hit kids?
And
so messed up.
That's when I knew we were settling in for a real treat of a film. We're going to go through, generational trauma. She beats her oldest son and he beats the youngest son. And I don't know if you saw it, but now that I know, Chet Hanks, when he goes to beat up his younger brother, he says, it's clobbering time, which
he does?
Does he? He does.
I missed that.
I missed that too.
That's the thing that the thing says.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And I'm like, oh, you took this superhero catchphrase and turned it into
he reclaimed it. He reclaimed it.
That's kind of nice.
I guess, but also I don't think he says it's clobbering time when he becomes the thing.
Damn,
he did at the end.
Did he? Okay,
he said it at the end because I clocked it and I was like, "What a cheesy line!" And Kyle's
in the final battle, deep cut. Really quick side note: that the mom that saves him from that moment. I think she was the bartender in Perfect Storm, which is like one of my favorite movies of all time.
Whoa.
And I got hyper fixated on that for about 10 minutes and lost myself a little bit. So I just want to start there, but continue.
No, I recommend losing yourself when watching this movie. Don't stay on the path.
Also.
Then I think this is when I wrote the note. Why is this so sad and spooky? Like, because then we get like this scene where young Ben finds Reed in the car.
Yeah.
And
and he's got the like mask on and his hood. And
yeah. By the way, I'm not checking my phone. I'm looking at my deep, rich notes I took about this film.
Oh yeah, I did too, actually.
Please, absolutely. Yeah, feel free.
Oh wait, and the stepdad, Tim Heidecker.
Who's he?
From Tim and Eric?
Is that? Oh my God, because I made a note about him. I said, the dad watching the Jets game. Ha ha ha.
Well, I'm just like, all these cameos, like, why did these people do this movie?
Well, oh God, it's so hard because I'm sure when they signed on before the disaster of production happened, right? They were like, oh, they're rebooting this. They're going to do this better, right? Yeah. I don't know. I'd be pumped to be in a superhero film.
I mean,
but
it starts
because at this point, Marvel was popping off, right? I mean,
but this wasn't Marvel to begin. It's 20th Century Fox.
Yeah,
right.
This is before
the complete acquirement.
And they're like, in 20th Century Fox is like, okay, because at this point, I think Ultron, like Avengers 2 was out, Ant-Man 1 was coming out. I think the new Doctor Strange movie was on the way, and like, Marvel was like, we're good. Like everyone loves us, even though the movies are not that great at this point.
Yeah.
Right?
Everyone loves us, but I think this is 20th Century Fox. Like, oh yeah, well we've got the rights to Fantastic Four. Let's reboot this. It just feels like, like what do we got? They're going through their toy chest.
And then they're like, how do we do that here?
Like, I got an idea. Let's get a director with no experience.
Yeah, let's take the only good thing about the original Fantastic Four movies, the funness. Take that out, and then
release.
So, I mean, Ben and Reed become friends. Why not? Leah Frires, I want to go to you for this question. So, our fact checkers, I did some research. I found that you also led a friend astray and they turned into a rock. Did you connect with Reed? Because it feels like this movie is trying to put the guilt on Reed because he keeps bringing Ben into the conversation.
Yeah.
And Ben, turns into a big rock.
Right.
As someone who's done this before in the past, Leah, how did you feel about this?
Well, I feel like in the beginning, it didn't seem like he was doing that to him. Like it genuinely seemed like Ben was interested in what Reed was doing. And like, I even felt like, oh, I'm getting like October Sky, friends are helping each other out. The Explorers kind of vibes, like kids in the garage making stuff because they're staying out of trouble. And
the boys are back.
The boys are back in town. I felt like in the beginning, I was like, I love this. Little boy friendships. Like you don't see that a whole lot.
Yeah.
It was nice.
I would agree. It started very nice. It started very nice.
Yes.
And then it kept going.
Yeah.
Andy Forsberg, talk to me about in the future when you have children, would you...
Oh, presumptuous. Just kidding. I really like kids.
Yes. So when you have children, will you use them in your experiments like what I've referred to in my notes as Papa Storm did?
Yeah, probably. I mean, yes, I like to laugh as long as they're not dangerous. Not like this. I would use them in fun experiments, but yeah, I don't think I would. And the relationship between them. Oh my God, I have so many notes about like how. Oh, I don't want to jump ahead if we're like,
I know,
spoilers,
like, how are we doing this?
spoilers.
Honestly, at this point, I was like, oh yeah, let's go in order. Let's just do
for this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Give me your thoughts about the storm.
So when they come back with their powers and they're all strapped up in their medical chairs at the secret military base that apparently is next to a major highway that people can just see. Human Torch, Daddy Storm is like, oh, my son, my son, my son, my son. And I just don't care. I don't care. And when they're trying to find Reed again and Dr. Storm is trying to convince Kate Mara to go find him, she turns around and he goes, Sue. Like a double Sue. I'm like, what? We have pet names now? Like, do you even care about these kids?
Do you remember those Isuzu commercials where like the little Australian boy would go, so. That's what I heard whenever he
and
called
it's
her
so
Sue
close
Storm.
to Mazda going zoom zoom.
Zoom.
God, it was so bad.
Well, and then he calls Reed's son at one point, and I was like, okay, is everyone just
What?
adopted? Like immediately when this is your scholarship? Is you
And
just
was
become my
Kate like
child?
officially adopted? Do we even
I think
talk
so.
about that?
Yeah,
I think
she
he said
said
that.
Do they talk about it? Okay.
She's from Kosovo. She said that's
right.
where they adopted her.
Ah.
And he was like, I don't hear your accent. She's like, you do not. And I was like, stop, just don't.
And that's love. And then he loved her ever since. Like one terrible comedic
No,
bit.
it was when they met in the library and they were talking about she's such a buzzkill. She's like,
Oh my God.
music's just pattern. I'm like, shut up.
Music's just
Oh,
patterns.
I have a few notes about that.
Oh,
Please.
please, I want to hear
Her,
your
well,
thoughts.
her whole personality in this whole fucking movie is just that she likes music. And then I also wrote, unfortunately, that's also the most interesting thing about the film is that she likes music. But she was listening to Portishead, which was cool. That was a deep cut.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, some Portishead. That's all I got.
We stand
Shit.
Portishead.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna pop off about Sue Storm. What am I supposed to feel? Because as I've mentioned, I've watched all the Fantastic Four movies. Truly not to brag. It hurt me.
Yeah.
Sue Storm, you either get Jessica Alba where she's like hot and in glasses, or you get this where she's like, she read as mean to me. She read very cold and mean.
I liked it.
Yeah. That worked for you, Andy?
I guess.
I mean, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil your fuck, marry, kill at the end of this, but
No, it used to. Therapy's helped.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
When I saw her, I was like, oh, a dude wrote this girl.
Yeah.
And then I
Right.
find out, no, 3 dudes did.
Mhm.
Not just one, many.
Many dudes.
She's a buzzkill. Like,
She's a
it
buzz-
sucks. It
And
sucks.
She doesn't
Flat.
even go on the trip with them.
Well, because they didn't invite her, first of all, which was
That's true.
rude.
That
They
was rude.
waited 40 minutes for this freaking kid to take a train there, his friend. I'm not doing this without you. And I'm like, oh, but you'll do it without Sue?
Yeah.
What is that?
And she's only there to tell on them because the alarm goes off.
And he asked her, like, what's your role in this project? And she's like, I'm the costume designer. Basically, I'm making the suits for you guys. Because
Not
someone
good.
has to be protected because I'm the woman and I have to play the mom.
My brain.
No.
My brain does hurt.
Terrible.
Terrible.
Terrible. I mean, I think we can all agree.
It's true. I accidentally wore my NASA hat. I didn't know there was going to be NASA shade when I was watching this morning. And the whole thing where they get a little drunk and Miles Teller, which we just have to like get back to Miles in a minute. But when he's like, ethanol kills brain cells, and you're like, fucking nerd. And
But also that flask is like this big. Like, how?
yeah, and they're like,
all
do you want to
drunk?
and it's like refill, and like they don't fill it up. It's still full. They're hammered, and it's still anyway. But there's that moment where Victor is like, there's some penniless, sad scientist that made Apollo go to the moon, and it was their dream, and the astronauts get all the glory, and that's like why he becomes a villain. And I'm like, for the listeners, my dad worked on the Apollo missions. And he's a nice guy. He didn't open a portal to another dimension and try to kill people that I actually know of. Actually, he's kind of secretive sometimes. I don't know. Maybe he did.
All
I was
right,
like,
Check
listen.
your house the next time you're home.
Yeah, I think what
Yeah.
we're learning is your dad is Dr. Doom.
Yes, 100%. I actually wrote my daddy isn't Dr. Doom, but he might be.
He
I
might
don't know.
be. I mean, have you ever asked?
He's very stoic. I don't think he'd tell me.
He would be like, I don't know what words you're saying.
Very Doom-like behavior.
Get the fuck out of here, nerd.
Well, let's go to the Miles Teller of it all. I think.
Okay.
Oh,
I
Jesus
feel like
Christ.
with this group, I think we all know
He sucks.
he sucks. Can we all agree?
thumbs down.
Big double thumbs down.
We don't get into a lot of LA insider gossip on this podcast, but as all LA insiders are here, Miles Teller.
This is
sucks.
Damon Royster. Welcome to the blacklist.
The blacklist.
We're all gonna get blacklisted.
I mean,
Whatever.
I would blacklist Miles Teller.
100%.
He's not welcome in my home. I hate Reed Richards. I think this character is so useless to begin with.
Ugh.
And like, you just need to make him likable. And I just don't understand why no one's ever attempted that. You can't just call someone Mr. Fantastic and expect me to think he's fantastic because it just
Who
doesn't
plays
work.
him in the Jessica Alba one?
So what the hell is his name? Rando.
Is like Ion Grufford, I think is his
What?
name. His name's like IOAN.
Okay.
Eon.
Exactly.
Is it Ian?
What's up, yo?
Eon.
Eowyn.
But his last name's like Grufford.
Okay.
And he sucks as well. And
Damn.
I don't. I blame Miles Teller for everything that went wrong in this movie.
I mean, he blames himself as well in the movie for everything that goes wrong, which he should.
As he should. And he ruined the face of the lovely Jamie Bell, who
Yes.
Jamie Bell.
So lovely.
do we know?
Billy Elliot.
Billy
Yes,
Elliot.
Billy
That's
Elliot.
what- yes.
I wrote down that I was waiting for the tap dance scene.
Billy.
He would have been great tap dancing as
Pour
the
one
rock,
out.
as the thing.
Yeah, he basically has built-in tap shoes with his rocks.
God, it's so good.
Wait, also though, like, why didn't Ben get to go to this school as well? Like, why was there only
Is that
one
just left out?
scholarship?
I kind of like went to go pour another coffee and just missed that brief moment.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
where
pause this movie.
I was like, is it because they thought he wasn't smart enough to be there and he had to like choose his friend or staying at the academy,
I don't
Miles?
know. I was like, did he not have enough money? But it's a scholarship.
Scholarship. I mean,
Yeah.
he just is not a part of it, but he, of course, has to go on the mission to the other
Yeah.
planet. I just want to say, for the record, when a couple of slightly older teens discover a portal to another dimension, it seems perfectly rational to me that NASA would step in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, everyone's so like, how dare
Yes.
they? We discovered it. It's like, you're like, they're not saying you'll never go.
Children. Yeah.
Like, it seems like it's a perfectly safe journey. Like, it's
But
not like,
also, Tim Blake Nelson was like, he was making it seem like, oh no, I'm a slimy businessman, and we're gonna do
Stanley
things with this.
Elnats.
oh, his name is, Tim Blake Nelson plays Dr. Allen.
Yes, and with his bad hair dye job. Ugh. Oh, the hair.
So
Did we
bad.
talk about Kate Mara's wigs? They were
Please.
terrible.
Please talk about
So
the wigs.
bad.
Terrible. Her hair was
Terrible.
different in every scene.
So bad.
I mean, the whole time I was wondering, would I have liked this more if it was Rooney Mara?
Oh.
I mean,
Ooh.
and I hate to pit two sisters against each other, but I kind of dislike both of them.
Fantastic Four. Girl with the dragon tattoo.
I
Come
mean,
on.
I don't think Kate can do what Rooney does, but I think Rooney can do what Kate does. And that's
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
how I feel.
That's a fair assessment.
Okay. Andy Forsberg, Child of Doom. Can you talk to me about can you talk about Victor Von Doom in this movie?
Oh, you mean Skeletor?
Please, yes, Skeletor
Yeah.
himself.
Going back to Castle Grayskull. Well, that guy, I'm trying to remember what else he was in. He wasn't in much. He kind of dropped off the map after this too. But specifically in the movie, I mean, there's no believability for any of the things he really cares about, and all of the things that he cares about, like being the first one there and them knowing that. And we don't know much about, like, was he in love with her? He was in love with her, right? Sue?
Yeah.
He blamed her for that happening.
Right. So he's
Wait,
a
what
fucking
happening?
misogynist to begin with, and terrible person. But what were you saying? He blamed him for what?
Yeah, he blamed at the end. He was like, I thought of a different, scenario for us. Like, this isn't how I thought it would end for us. So he's like, if you would have basically loved me, I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have blown up the world.
Yeah. This
Oh my
classic
God.
incel logic.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes.
say very incel. Like, oh,
Yes.
the girl doesn't love me, doesn't want to fuck me. I'm gonna go fucking destroy things.
That's why I'm
Exactly.
evil. So I just talked about Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, which I will say is better than this. I'll never say that again.
Amazing. Who plays Silver Surfer in that?
The voice is Lawrence
Okay.
Fishburne.
Oh, that's sick.
But the body's Doug Jones, who does a lot of stuff
We
like
went
that.
to a Matrix party last night, so that's
Fun.
relevant.
Oh,
Yeah,
I saw-
anyway,
oh, I
enough
saw
of that. This isn't about the Matrix. But go ahead.
Michael, cut the Matrix talk.
I'm not here.
This happens in every Fantastic Four movie. I don't understand. When are people going to learn that when someone says, "Hi, my name's Doctor Doom," don't trust that person.
Right?
Every movie, it's like
100%.
we fully trust Victor Von Doom, and then it's like, I can't believe he betrayed us.
Also, though, like I love like that cheesiness. Like I love that's from the comics. Like I like weird names. I don't care if we know what's gonna happen. Like I don't care about predictability.
Mm-hmm.
I care about the journey to that
Yeah.
and like what you do with
said.
that.
Very well said. Yes.
I care about that. And what bothers me more, and Victor does it once, and hang on, I wrote it down. But it's basically anytime writing assumes that the audience, and I'm not the writer in this group, but that assumes the stupidity of the audience, like that they're just like, when they point over, I think it's Michael B. Jordan's character, and when he points over when they first go, and he's like, over there, it looks like the energy source is from over there. Oh, you mean the big fucking green thing that we can all see and you're standing in front of? And then Victor does it later. Or maybe he's the one that says that. Anyway, they do that like 4 or 5 times where they're just like, it's just the stating the obvious when the movie is presenting it visually.
Yeah.
And you're like, why are we doing this? Like, why? Like, how does that even get approved? It's just tasteless to me. Like how that even like someone reads that and is like, or when they are shooting it, like, don't show it or something. I don't know. It's just, it grinds my gears.
It feels like it wasn't there. And so I think trying to help Michael B. Jordan or whoever it was like, what if I pointed to it?
Yeah.
To make it clear that that's where we're going.
Yeah.
But speaking of him, Leah Frires, Michael B. Jordan, dare I say, much like Chris Evans in the original Fantastic Four, the saving grace of this movie, and not in it enough, I would say. How did you feel?
I mean, I feel like they didn't do a lot for his character. Like I mean, the script is terrible all around. So like everybody doesn't, but in terms of like, he did his best and it was the best in the whole group, then yes, he was great. I didn't love his like drag racing side story arc. Like that's so stupid. And then he broke his arm, and then also in the montage, it's like not broken anymore. I'm like, what?
Oh yeah,
like,
good call.
What is this?
And Papa Storm is like, you broke your arm, you're working in the lab.
Yeah. And he's just like, no one tells me what to do. Yeah, buddy, what do you need? I'm like,
he can build anything.
Yeah, he can build anything.
And that's
I will say, oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm so mad because like the Human Torch and the Thing are also pilots, and they're supposed to fly things, but because we're not flying to space, they're just builders and mechanics. And I'm like, what?
Wait,
well, Human Torch fly, though.
No, I mean literally like fly planes, like pilot. Yeah.
Wait, Human Torch and who? Mr. Fantastic?
No, the Rock, the Thing. They're they're space pilots, and that's like why they're
right.
If they were going to space,
I thought we were talking about Miles Teller, and I was going to make a Top Gun joke, but here we are. Okay, we're back.
But Ben doesn't do anything in this one. He's just like literally the muscle.
He's got his back.
Also, like Miles Teller as the Thing would have been better. Jamie Bell is more sciencey. I don't know. To me, like he can play that better. I think Michael B. Jordan was the strongest actor in this whole movie. Yeah, like you said. And I just obviously the writing and the story didn't do him any favors, as you said. But I actually think this is a hot take, but I think Michael B. Jordan used to be a better actor. Like I think since he's had some more success,
I cannot believe it.
I know for the listeners, jaw dropped to the floor.
The gauntlet has been thrown.
Wow.
I love Creed and I love that, but I even think like in Black Panther stuff, he's overacting. I feel like at this point, because he doesn't have an ego yet, like he's kind of like, I don't know, he's like more humble in his delivery and it works. I don't know. I love Michael B. Jordan. He seems
like a kid in this movie. And
I'm actually glad we're not doing this in the same room now because I feel like she would choke me.
Look at Damon's shirt.
I mean,
oh shit.
I know how you feel about the sequel to Black Panther.
The sequel, first Black Panther, is a masterpiece.
Absolutely. So, are you saying that Michael B. Jordan is much more humble in this?
Yeah, I just mean like as an actor on screen. I don't mean like the characters. And that could have just been like how they had him play it or whatever. And again, just I love Michael B. Jordan. I don't want this to be trashing Michael B. Jordan because I love him. It was just a note.
Everybody does.
It doesn't sound like you love him. But
I guess you'll find out at the end of the episode.
Ooh.
Hey.
We always have a thrilling conclusion to every episode. I could agree. But I also wonder if he's just being more humble here because he's like, I'm the best actor. I can't. You know, like when you're like playing basketball with children, you're like, I can't crush these kids like this.
Speak for yourself.
I would destroy you.
He's like, it's clobbering time.
Oh, that's good.
And on that callback, I think it's time for us to take a quick little break. We're going to take a break and we'll come back and we're going to talk more about this movie. Is there anything else to talk about? We're going to find out.
Yeah.
So many things. So many things.
How about Dr. Doom's outfit?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to get into the fashion of Fantastic Four after this quick little break. And Podcast 616 will be right back.
Hello, Brooks here with the Books with Brooks monthly book club podcast. Here's how Books with Brooks works. We read one book a month, and then we talk about it. Classics like Stephen King's The Shining, debut novels like We Are the Brennans by Tracy Lang, and tons of other compelling, life-changing stories, one book and 1 month at a time. So come read along with us, and then listen in.
Welcome, everyone, to Podcast 616, the official podcast of Earth 616. I am your host, Damon Royster, and I am inviting you to listen and subscribe to this Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. On Podcast 616, we gather some of today's greatest comedians, writers, and actors to dive deep into all things Marvel, like comic book history and lore, all the interconnected superhero storylines, and of course, who's hot and who's not in the MCU. Honestly, why aren't you listening right now? You have the power to listen to Podcast 616. And as we always say, with great power comes even greater responsibility. Listen and subscribe to Podcast 616 wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everyone, this is Don Mike Mendoza, the host of Producing While Asian. Join us in Season 2 for more conversations with actors, artists, producers, and more from Broadway, Hollywood, and beyond, every other Wednesday on the Press Play Podcast Network.
Waking up with these freaking superpowers. Like, I feel like they did kind of sit them in it. Like, imagine when Michael B. Jordan woke up and he was on fire, he freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
We're back from break, right? Like, you do back, and then we're back.
And we're back. Michael, keep that in. And we're back.
I don't know how audio works.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I have a robot guest for the first time. Andy, it's like A.N.D.Y. Can we? I wish I could show this visually because you don't release any of this on video, right? Okay.
No.
So I wish people could see this, but how Kate Mara types, because she's always typing. She's like,
yes.
She like,
what?
It's like, and she uses the same fingers that you would use when you were getting a pickle out of the pickle jar, but she uses that to type. Like she's picking something.
It's like teaching my 92-year-old Dr. Doom father how to type on a keyboard.
Oh my God.
That's what it looked like.
It's rough. But yeah, let's go into the Awakening of the Powers. They don't get their powers until about 45 minutes into the movie, and the movie's only 90 minutes. So
thank God.
One could say half the movie, there's no Fantastic Four.
And once they do get their powers, we see them in the rooms, like just lazy production. I feel like, I don't know if they ran out of runway budget or whatever, because they actually had to do so many reshoots. And again, I want to get into that stuff at the end. Okay. I feel like they had to cut a ton of the, like, what would be fight scenes and such, because the budget probably went way down. So they're showing them in these rooms. They show Human Torch doing demo stuff. They have like the video of like tiny thing, like in Afghanistan or wherever the fuck the Pentagon sent him. And then we have like a literally 3-minute battle at the end. And half of it isn't even their powers. It's them in the force field that Kate Mara is taking them down in.
Picking them down,
Yes. So it's like, they don't even get a flex.
No, I mean, and that's true across all the Fantastic Four movies. These movies seem to think, they seem to think that people just want to know how they got their powers. How does it work? Like, I've never seen the Fantastic Four save a person. I've never seen them. Never seen them save a human being.
I still don't know how it worked. If it was the same thing that got into all three of them, and they all have different, like wildly different powers. Also, I wouldn't call the Thing's power a power. It's like, he just is full of rocks.
Yeah. He
super strength,
became rock.
I guess.
And are they on him? Is he still under there, or did he become?
I mean,
I think Miles Teller's only power in this film was changing his face to a different race, which is incredibly inappropriate.
So inappropriate.
Not good.
To
Not good.
to quote Andy's dog, woof.
Ooh.
It's rough. I will say I liked when we first saw Miles Teller and he wakes up and he's just already stretched. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm so stretchy.
Oh, Stretch Armstrong.
I want to have that scene set to the song, Girl, Shake That Laffy Taffy.
Like that laugh.
Bow, 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 bow.
No, it would be, who would be Rubber Band Man? Wow.
Yeah, rubber band man.
Rubber band man. Wow.
There's a
Rubber
talent.
band.
There was only one moment that made me emotionally feel something, and I don't know why. I think I was
Please
searching
tell me.
for it, so I just latched on to maybe the only moment I cared about, which was Michael B. Jordan comes back once Reed is back, and they're about to go on the mission, and they're about to send, I don't know, are they army guys or astronauts that they send when Dr. Doom comes
Yeah.
back? Anyway, they're on the
Space
control room.
soldiers.
Yeah. And he's like, Michael B. Jordan's like, hey, Reed. And he like, you think he's going to diss him and they're going to get in a fight, and he just goes up and hugs him. Which is like a very Ted
Oh,
Lasso
yeah.
moment to me. It's kind of sweet. And I liked that part. I didn't really care about them enough, but I felt like there was like some emotional thing to hold on to there. But it was a half a second of an hour and a half film.
Like, and there's moments like in the montage where they're like having lunch and laughing, and I'm like, I guess they're friends. I wish
Yeah.
they would tell me.
Look at us.
know.
Who would have
Everything
thought?
Just feels so rushed.
Not
There's
me.
like a moment where Kate Mara comes in when Michael B. Jordan is like in trouble, like working on stuff. And she comes in, she's like, hey, and it sounds like she's got a clipboard and it sounds like she's going to like give him like really important information. And she's just like, it's really nice seeing you here, you know? And he's like, I'm just here until I get my car back. It's just like, right.
Yeah.
And then walks out. I'm like, what? What?
And he's
What
just
did
like
I
shit
learn?
at drag racing.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't even good. I don't know why they had to make him like shitty at it. Like, couldn't he have just gotten hurt and lost his car? And like, I don't know. That was so dumb to me.
I mean, it's like, I guess they were trying to evoke the idea, because he's going to be the Human Torch. Like, look at him go so fast, and then the car explodes and there's fire. And I'm like, you could just make him the Human Torch already, and we would see that as well.
Very true.
I will say,
Every time they're in the control room. Oh yeah. Go ahead.
He looked cool
Your
as the
show.
Human Torch.
Your show.
He looked.
He did. He
He looked cool. I thought that
He
was.
also had that.
I will say, yeah.
The Mario thing in his rear view mirror or
Okay.
dangling. You know,
Yeah.
the like
Oh, did he?
the flower that you like. You get firepower when you play Mario.
Oh,
Like from Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's a dragger. That makes sense. Andy, what were you going to say?
Yeah. Michael, maybe you can fact check the proper term for that flower. I was gonna say every time they are in like a control room searching for Reed, I just want to go, oh my God, that's Jason Bourne. Like, you guys don't know that reference? Oh, that was just a delay. Oh, for listeners, it was just a delayed laugh. It was actually funny.
Yeah, it's best to check.
Can we talk about can we talk about the production woes just for a sec?
Please? Yeah, tell me about these delays. These delay shoots.
I didn't do like a deep dive, but I looked up the director, Josh Trank. I think that's how you say his name, Trank. And he had not done much. Like, yeah, like even if they're, I don't know, for such a tentpole film, it like boggles my mind. Like, I don't know, they obviously bought his screenplay that he wrote with these other two white dudes, and they were like, okay, we'll give him a chance. But then he was acting like erratic on set and like lost control of it and like didn't know what to do. So Fox took away Final Cut. So he came out afterward. He hasn't like worked since then. Whoa. And he had that I know of from IMDb, but he has like, it was just a mess. And it makes a lot of sense. And he didn't get Final Cut. And there were a few articles that I would have dove deeper into in May after this, because it's actually kind of interesting that so much of his stuff got taken out. And it seems like he actually had some really cool ideas, but because he was inexperienced, he didn't know how to execute them. So I think it could have been a much cooler film with someone more experienced at the helm.
And okay, so I'm looking up Josh Trank, and I'm seeing that the movie he directed before this was Chronicle, which also had Michael B. Jordan. Oh. And this makes so much sense. Because Chronicle was about these 3 teenage boys who find like this space asteroid and it gives them powers. But but the whole thing it's like the Blair Witch Project. Like it's filmed on like a camcorder. and of course, one of the boys gets corrupted and like kills Michael B. Jordan. What a surprise! They killed the black character.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so don't watch it.
Okay.
It's preventing
But question: did he? Oh, he did. He did direct Chronicle. I thought he just wrote it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like he's doing a movie. Oh, he did Capone in 2020.
What?
But
Anyway,
it just
sorry, continue.
it feels like Chronicle. The vibe of that feels like the vibe of this Fantastic Four movie. Just very gritty. Like it just feels like I guess I thought we ended this with The Dark Knight Rises, but I guess it carried over into 2015. This like, ooh, it has to be sad, and people get powers and they are corrupted, and it's dark, and everything's overcast and gray.
Yes, and we're gonna take advantage of everything, and there's no lightness.
The color in this film, like too, just like from technical perspective, like it's all flat. Like the acting and the story, but like even the tone changes. Like The Other World, it feels completely the same. Like it all. There's no juxtaposition between like trying to make us feel something visually. I don't know.
Yeah.
100%. We also never really settle in a specific time period, so it just feels like we're just watching a montage of things because like they're kids, then they're teens, and then they're building the device, and then they're in the new world, and then a year goes by, and Doom is like taken over the new parallel dimension, and his plan is to suck our world into a black hole or something. Because of course, because of the government. Because of the government, because he will not be forgotten,
and he's an
he wants
incel.
to create new worlds. Yeah, like I just didn't. What?
And
what have you been doing for a year? Just hanging out,
just getting more powerful.
Yeah, he had like that, like kind of like cable eye patch, like cyborg thing.
But if they didn't come back, like would he have done this?
I don't think so. I think he needed them to come back. Like if they just had left this alone and like, you know, maybe just been the Fantastic Four and gone out into the world to help other people with issues. You know, like the comics. That
also, when the guy from Holes, what's his name again?
Shia LaBeouf.
Oh God,
Tim Blake Nelson.
This podcast is too short for that discussion.
Cleo Thomas. What up, Cleo?
Tim Blake, you said?
Yeah, Tim Blake Nelson.
Tim
Nelson,
Blake. Yeah. Tim Blake Nelson. So when he's like, when they see the astronauts are there and they see Dr. Doom coming back, Victor, and he's like clearly unwell. Like they're like, yeah, just bring him on back. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, you got the little scanner thing. Like, he's actually green and has a metal exoskeleton now. Like, maybe we bring the test here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he seems a little angry,
just a bit.
Yeah.
That's wild. And also, Miles Teller is like on the run.
Yeah.
Of all the people, he's the rogue one that they can't catch.
Yeah. Right. He's not that smart.
He like blames it on like it was all my fault, which it was all his fault. But like then they're just like, we need you. Come back.
And this, kids, is why you don't drink whiskey.
Exactly, especially out of teeny tiny flasks that look
like
it came out of
flasks.
That flask looked like it came out of a woman's purse, but the woman was from the 1920s.
It was a woman's purse. Like,
yes,
just a little pocket change where you put your pennies in.
Oh my!
Like the unsinkable Molly from Titanic.
That's
100%.
It's a coin purse.
Yeah. I did love the first. Not love. Love is a strong word.
Yeah,
I strongly
liked the first, like, I don't know, 10 minutes, or I'll say it this way. I thought it had potential. I was like, maybe I didn't give this enough of a chance. Like, you're talking about the October Sky thing, which I love, especially at the school fair. I'm like, okay, like this feels good. This feels nostalgic. And the fact that also he does make the plane disappear and he's like, this is a magic trick. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, again, to your point earlier, Damon, when you're like these kids that are just like making these crazy things that they're not just like wildly astounded and that they're just like, this is bullshit. It's like incredibly unbelievable. And not to say that like there can't be fantastical things about superhero films, but like it was a little far-fetched for me.
Yeah, it feels like it's the opposite of fantastical. This like movie is working overtime to make things not interesting.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
It's like It's like a train slowing down. I think that's what we watched. A train coming to a stop at a train station.
That's so good.
True.
I did love.
God.
Okay, wait. I do want to talk about the fashion because I don't know where Dr. Doom got that little like scarf head wrap thing that he had.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
Oh, he looked great.
There was like no remnants of like, I thought he was gonna like make it out of his old suit or something, and there was
like
none of that I could see.
That he just wrapped around him.
Yeah. The energy monster gave him a little blankie.
A little blankie.
Any other fashion? They didn't have like team uniforms, did they? It was just kind of like
their own. That's why I was like, oh, this is the setup for like then they're gonna keep doing this, but then they didn't ever keep doing it.
Right, like their intention was to maybe make the sequel, right? Oh, and by the way, on that note, I actually let's keep talking about the fashion because I want to talk about the movie that's getting made in 2025.
Just talk about it because that was the only fashion I enjoyed.
Yeah, what's happening in 2025?
And the rest was no.
Talk to us about the future. Well, what is the future Fantastic Four? Where do we go from here?
Well, at least there's supposed to be a sequel in 2025. I think it's in pre-production, and that is getting, and that will be in the proper Marvel world and canon, as far as I would understand. And the director of that so far that signed in is Matt Shackman. He directed a bunch of WandaVision episodes.
Oh, that's cool.
And which I loved, and a little bit of Game of Thrones. Don't know which episodes. Hopefully the good ones. And this gives me kind of hope. Also, was he directed a lot of Always Sunny, so I've hoped that they're kind of gonna play into the like we're kind of ridiculous superheroes, you know, kind of like more Ant-Man-y.
Yes.
Like, and then like they'll reel you in with the bit and the joke of that, and then make you really care about the characters. And then like when people start dying or get hurt or we have to save someone, we'll actually care.
You care, yeah,
so
exactly.
It was like yeah. And so anyway.
And do you know, is John Krasinski going to be the next Reed Richards?
Oh, is that because he was in the?
Oh, that's right.
He was in the Doctor Strange movie. Yeah,
in the Doctor Strange movie.
So
I would assume yes. Though is he in that alternate universe by that point?
Yeah, he was.
So maybe that's not part of. So like obviously, title of the podcast 616. That's like Earth, right? That is Earth in the Marvel canon.
Yes.
So was this technically like, is this other dimension they went to in this Fantastic Four? Is that considered part of that universe, or is it like part of the
Earth
ultimate?
Zero.
It's the ultimate universe is the other one, right?
Yeah,
Earth Zero. That's right.
It might as well be. I mean, if they want to like save face and like say, because the whole multiverse thing is such a great way to say like, we all meant to do it. Like Spider-Man with Sam Raimi, all the Fantastic Four movies, just different parallel Earths.
Right. So that's my only thing with the John Krasinski thing, I guess, is because he was in a different multiverse. If they didn't, I don't think people would be pissed or anything. But that's a good prediction. I like it.
Who's to say there's not two John Krasinskis? Yeah.
That's amazing. Is there two Emily Blunts?
Exactly. And you're hitting so fun thing I'll do with this Dream Fantastic Four cast. If you could pick anybody to play these four roles, who would you pick?
Oh, damn.
Surprise.
Shit.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's tough.
Could they not?
Well.
And they obviously can't be characters that are already in the Marvel universe.
No, that's not true because Michael B. Jordan plays multiple characters.
That's true.
And
so yeah.
So does someone else. There's another person.
Chris Evans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And both played the Human Torch and both played other characters in Marvel.
See, Human Torch, that doesn't sound right for Chris Evans.
It doesn't feel right.
No. Let's see here.
It doesn't feel,
John Goodman is the thing.
Yes.
Also, one thing I will say about this is I liked that they didn't. In the previous Fantastic Four was a guy. Actually, I don't remember what else he was in really, but he was in. I don't know if you guys watch Winning Time. I really love that.
No.
That Adam McKay show.
LA
came
Lakers
out about the Lakers.
Yeah.
And the guy that plays the thing and the two previous, the 05 and 07 versions, he was the thing. Yeah, Michael Chiklis. Thank you. And they. It's always like he's the big guy, muscly guy. He's gonna obviously be the thing. And I did like with Grimm that he was kind of like a skinnier, nerdy kid, and he turned into that. Like it wasn't exactly like on brand for what that should quote be.
I think it should be Taika Waititi.
I gotta think about this
from
as
Thor.
a thing.
Yeah.
that rock guy.
That would be so fun.
Like,
God.
just make him funny.
Just honestly,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, Fantastic Four, just make it funny. That's all we
Just
want.
make it funny.
Just make it funny.
This isn't a good story. Just make it funny.
Yeah, make it funny.
Make it funny.
Make it fun.
Matt Jackman, please make it funny.
And also,
Yes.
a fun thing we like to do on this podcast is a little game I like to call Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Yes.
Finally, for the last time, I'm dealing with the Fantastic Four. And here's what we're going to do.
Until 2026.
Until 2026, when I do this all over again. When I'm still doing this podcast. Fuck, Marry, Kill, Fantastic Four. You can pick any of the four, but only those four. I will go first to give my guest time to think.
Okay.
If you need a reminder on the docket, we've got The Invisible Woman, The Thing, The Human Torch, and Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards. But I hate him and I hate Invisible Woman. Never done this before. I'm going to kill both The Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic. I will lure them into a trap. Just a classic, I feel like, with a net situation. And then I'll just like...
Shouldn't be too hard.
Shouldn't be too hard. They're so dour and sad all the time. And Miles Teller, his comedic voice is wrong. And I hate... what he thinks makes him funny.
Wait, he has a comedic voice?
Exactly. So I'm going to kill those two. Here's a twist from what I've been doing. I'm going to fuck the Human Torch. I'm going to fuck Michael B. Jordan because...
Yeah, you gotta.
You gotta. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
Given the choice, what am I going to do? Not do that? I'm going to fuck him. And then I'm going to marry the Thing. I like Ben. I like Billy Elliot. And I would love to see if he still has the dance moves in his rock form. That's what I'm going to do.
I love that.
Andy Forsberg.
Yes, Damon Royster.
Who you fucking, who you marrying, who you killing?
Well, I'm just straight putting a bullet into Mr. Fantastic, just on all levels. If there's anything worse than Miles Teller, it's stretchy Miles Teller. It freaked me out. I didn't like it. I don't like his face. I don't like his voice. It bothers me. I'm going to have a little menage a trois.
Ooh.
With Michael B. Jordan and Kate Mara.
Ooh, brother, sister.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, this is recorded.
But
okay.
Adopted.
Can I?
No.
Is separately that okay?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to dig in deeper on this. I really didn't think about that one.
Same night, just different rooms.
Right.
Listen, it's when they're out of character, not in the movie. There we go. And God damn it. And you're welcome. And definitely gonna marry the Thing as well. Jamie Bell's a sweetheart.
He's such a
sweetie. He seems the most level-headed and also shows some sort of emotion. I would have said Kate Mara to marry, but she is so boring and mean.
So boring.
So boring.
And the music thing, I just can't get over.
Oh yeah.
Also, we didn't talk about the score, but that's okay. Because this podcast is not about that. and it's Leah's turn.
Yes, Leah, please go.
Okay. I had the exact same one as you, Damon, except I just left out Invisible Girl, just like they left her out of the mission. Like,
can't find her.
You can't. Also, I don't call him Mr. Fantastic. He is Rubber Band Man because I'm very mad at the names of all of these people. The Thing, like, that's so fucking rude. Ben is the one who came up with the name Fantastic, and then Miles Teller just stole it and was like, no, and now I'm Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
bad.
Yes. But there's also Mr. Incredible and the Incredibles. But yes.
I guess so. But his last name is actually Incredible.
That is true, yeah.
So
wait. So you're leaving out the Invisible Woman, killing.
Oh yeah. I'm killing Rubber Band Man. He sucks. Yes. I'm definitely fucking the Human Torch. Fiery, hot sex.
It's gonna be hot.
And then marrying the Thing. He seems so sweet, and also like we're both Jews, so like we'd celebrate the holidays together, and it'd be really easy.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Easy little family meld. That sounds nice.
Yeah. Don't go to his house. His family seems destructive.
No.
Yeah, not good.
Beautiful round of Fuck, Marry, Kill. I do something in my ear told me, Andy, do you want to talk about the score?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it was actually very good.
Oh,
really?
I really loved the score. It was wasted on this film. Marco Beltrami scored it. He scores so many things. One of the screams, a bunch of different stuff. He kind of does a little bit of everything, but it felt like a very classic, like orchestral score like it felt more like Silvestri, Alan Silvestri, who scored Avengers and like the main Avengers theme. Like it felt like that and not like more modern Marvel, which I like both of them, but this felt classic without being cheesy. And the themes were amazing. And I feel like he was just as confused as all of us when he was scoring it because he didn't know when to like put themes where. And he's like, I'm just going to write a couple cool themes that we just like blanket all over because no one deserves their own. Anyway, little nerdy moment, but I thought that the score far outweighed what the level of the film was.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And yeah, please talk about the score. We never talk about the score on this podcast.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Only because no one else. You're the only one who cares.
What? Oh, okay.
No, Andy, we care about music. We care about you. And we care about Leah, but we don't care about the Fantastic Four 2015. Thank you both so much for watching this movie. I owe you my life.
You owe us an hour
really
and a half
do.
of our
I was going to
lives
say,
back.
I can't thank you, unfortunately.
I can't thank you at all.
We can't get that time back. I didn't watch my baby grow for an hour and a half because of you, Damon.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you missed those 90 minutes. And I hope you get more 90 minutes after that. Andy Forsberg, where can people find you online? Are you working on anything? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm working on a bunch of documentaries right now for National Geographic and producing music for a bunch of artists and just my website, andyforsbergmusic.com or my Insta, aforsbergmusic. But yeah, listen to some of my tunes. That'd be really nice.
Listen, he's very good. He's very good. All right. Thank you, Andy. Leah Frires, what's going on? What's up? What do you want to promote? What are you up to?
What am I up to? Catherine and I are writing a new show, and we've got a variety show coming up at the end of April at the Yard.
Yes.
Love the Yard.
Yeah, you do. So you can check that out at Pure and Weary, AND. And I think that's all I've got right now. Oh, I'm doing the nonfiction show. I don't know when this is being released, but
spoilers.
I think you would have just done it. I think you've already done the nonfiction show.
Well, thanks for coming to see me in the nonfiction show, everyone. I'm going to teach everyone how to roll the perfect J.
Oh, well, I'm definitely gonna. Could we actually just have a little respite after this, and you teach me because I definitely need it after watching that this morning. I need to just like unwind.
I got you, Andy.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much. If you want to follow this podcast, you can follow us at Podcast 616 P3 on Instagram. That's Podcast 616. The P3 stands for Press Play Podcast, which is the podcasting network that allows us to do this recording. Thank you so much. Really wish someone had told me not to do the Fantastic Four movies. I feel sad. You can follow me, Damon, on Instagram at Damon Royster. Everything's on there if you want to find what I'm doing. Normally we would have producer Michael give us a letter grade, but I know he would give us an A for effort, and he would give this movie an F-.
Or fucked.
Thank you both so much, Leah, Andy, Frires, and Forsberg. Fantastic Four.
Woo!
Whoop, 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 whoop. This has been Damon Royster. Thank you for listening to this podcast. We'll be back. We'll be back in a little bit. We're going to go into Guardians of the Galaxy and hopefully happier times.
Why couldn't we do that one?
What the fuck? Guess we know who your real friends are. Jesus.
Shush. Oh my God, we had so much fun. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you so
we
much
did.
for listening. And don't forget that with great power comes even greater responsibility. Flame the fuck off.